This is the Simpit, I'm Michi, and today we gonna have a special video out for you from my end. Since you guys see me streaming quite a lot on my personal channel here, on the channel of the Simpit, I decided to have a review on a special thing, which is this. So those are the field gloves I actually race quite a lot in whatever I do. Basically, whenever I race, I got them on. So first of all, the first thing, why would you wear any gloves in a race? And there's a very special meaning of gloves for me, because basically I get sweaty hands as soon as I touch on the wheel and drive serious laps, do proper testing and do proper racing. So with sweaty hands, the buttons become slippery, the wheel becomes slippery. You sort of lose that feel that you get from the wheel, that you get as feedback from the car. And imagine if you would race on a direct drive and you have sweaty hands and the wheel starts turning around and it just slips through your hands. So that's not what you want to have, and this is where those gloves come in perfectly. So they're gonna suck in the sweat from your hands, and they really give you all the required feel on the wheels. So looking at those fields from the design, I have to say they look really brilliant, they look pretty neat, they look pretty modern. They have nice colors on it. I like the blue actually, and I know that those field gloves are also available in red. What is very interesting is about the back side of those gloves. Has some stitching on it and some holes, so it's some kind of air conditioning going on the back side of the hand. So you do not feel really sweating inside them gloves at all. So it's really about the hot air or the sweaty air, the air full of humidity get transported out of the gloves in a very good manner. On the other side, where your hands are actually touching the wheel, very fine material, some bit of leather. It is. It's not actual leather though, but it really is a lot of leather, some sort of leather art material, and everything that is white on here is actually the grippy surface that's gonna connect you with the wheel, and that's gonna really put your thing into your hands, and it gives you great control of everything. The material is so thin that with the actual buttons on the wheel, everything feels quite natural. So if you go with a finger on the button, it feels like you actually press the button directly, which is pretty nice. Because it is very thin, obviously, your hands do not get hot or get further sweaty as they are getting anyway. So that is really nice. I have to say that the design itself on the inside is just as good as on the outside for me, and they are really well made in that way. So looking towards the inside of that gloves, there's a very tight stitching which quite withstands some force when putting them on the hands or putting them off the hands. However, especially when being in preparation for a race, you just need to make sure that you're a little bit careful on the wrist, because as soon as the material gets wet, it some sorts of keeps sticking to the hand, keeps sticking to the skin. So I mean, if you push or pull too hard on it, the stitching might break apart, and then it's that area here on the outside of that rim there where it says feel. There you can see some sort of little borderline, and that's where they probably gonna break apart. Other than that, they are really nice. They are really enjoyable driving, and to me it's like, do not wearing those gloves actually makes me feel like being a lot slower. So it has also some kind of placebo effect going on, if you want to say it like this. So I definitely feel much more comfortable with it, and especially after you drove like 5 to 10 minutes, you do not even feel that you got gloves on, so that name of the gloves, feel, is actually quite accurate, because it's the wheel you're gonna feel and not the soft gloves that's surrounding your hand. I mean, obviously you feel that you're wearing gloves, but as soon as you're into racing, you just do not think about it. You just do not really recognize that you are wearing some gloves there, so it actually feels like your hand being entirely on the wheel, and that is just a great thing. So what is the advantage of running gloves rather than just cover your sweaty hands? It has to do with sweaty hands again, because all those new wheels, I think the Porsche wheel of Fanatec has some Alcantara stitching on the outside, and also those industrial leather wheels, they suffer a lot from being used with some sort of wet conditions, so with wet and sweaty hands. Not in the first time, not in the second time, but probably if you touch the wheel 15 times or 20 times with having sweaty hands and turning the wheel, that stitching or that the material on the wheel becomes rough, and yeah, becomes some sort of, I don't want to say ugly looking because it's not the right word, but I think you see what I'm getting at. And therefore gloves also protect you of some sort of equipment you're going to use. So the wear of your wheel, of your Alcantara wheel, is not that bad, and that's obviously another big advantage to it. So overall, those are very high quality gloves there. Especially the stitching from the inside is not going to be felt at all. It's not going to be seen at all, really. Also not from the outside. And the best thing about getting them in is if you slowly work yourself inside them, and then you pull them over your hands, and you do not feel that at all. Like, there is no slip or no some sort of etiquette or whatever that could drag you off. I mean, in case there is a little safety thing down there, something you can use for pulling it, and other than that, you do not feel that glove being on your hand at all. And especially for the Technic guys out there, I myself especially run Dash Meter Pro on the cell phone, so it has some kind of nice gadget as well. So those fingers have some special material on, so that they can actually operate your cell phone, as you can see right now. Can operate your tablet, literally everything with a good and responsive touch screen can be operated by this. So basically this is a real nice addition to those gloves, being able to operate touch screens. And if you want to order your first pair of field gloves, you just need to go to the website, which is www.f33l.gg, and there you will find them currently on sale for £20, usually being on sale for £30. I'm not sure about the exact exchange rate from pounds to euros or pounds to dollars currently, but basically this is a real cheap pair of gloves, because there are other gloves, either being from Recaro or being from other racing manufacturers, but they are designed for real racing, and so they are really thick and really expensive, like they cost over 100 euros or something. And I had a chance to wear one of those Recaro gloves at the expo, and they are just really massive and thick, and they will make your problem with sweaty hands or with touching the right button considerably difficult, because with those field, as I said, you really feel the wheel, you really have control of your fingers, and you not misclick yourself on the wheel too often, if not at all. So yeah, I hope this was somewhat useful for you. If you have any questions towards those gloves or towards anything else there concerning those gloves, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, put your question down below in the description and I will get that answered. And yeah, I hope we can see you racing out there with some with some gloves of feel, and it would be really nice to get your reviews on here and get your own personal opinion on here. Write it down in the description. Anyway guys, I'm Michi, this is the Simpit, and I want to see you on a track.